Freddy's back. And I'm happy to say I'm one of the lucky few who helped make it happen. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime, I haven't had a lot of downtime lately, likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. Now, first of all, I just want to come out and say, guys, thank you for hanging on. I have been getting ready for this last Sunday's gig at Scandal Fest. It was a blast, and it was so cool because they would do an hour, we would do 25 minutes, hour 25, hour 25, between main stage and second stage, and it was a blast. Thank you to Viva Musica, and thank you to Jet Dragon Entertainment. Evolution rocked the stage. But with all that being said, I finally got a chance to sit down and watch a movie. And the movie I decided to watch was a movie that I actually had, like many others, a hand and an interest in, which was the brand new Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street fan film, Dylan's New Nightmare. I heard about this movie, I want to say about 6 months ago, like many others, maybe a little longer, but I recall thinking to myself, it's tough to do Freddy. It really is. And it's tough to give anyone the feeling that they're watching something that is legit and worthwhile when it's a fan film. And thankfully, Never Hike Alone from Womp Stomp Films did that for everyone. And thankfully, this movie got on track in association with Womp Stomp Films, and it helped them a lot, tremendously. This is a fan-made sequel to The New Nightmare, which came out in 1994, in which it was very meta. It was meta before Scream, and of course it was Wes Craven, so he was testing out those ideas. And New Nightmare was about the actors that were featured in the Nightmare on Elm Street series were going on living their life, but Heather Langenkamp, playing herself, was haunted by this demonic figure who took the form of Freddy Krueger. The genie was out of the bottle and it was free to roam the earth because it wasn't kept in fiction anymore. It was coming into our own world. And in that movie, Heather Langenkamp has a kid and his name is Dylan. And if you know the movie, you know Dylan killed it, but Dylan was also in a Stephen King flick as well, I believe Pet Sematary, and he was all over the place. Miko Hughes. Miko Hughes returns for this movie to reprise his role as Dylan, which is huge. By the way, Miko, you're ripped, brother. Cool stuff. From one bicep brother to another. You look awesome, dude. Obviously, the elephant in the room is, can you get Nightmare on Elm Street fans on board with somebody playing Freddy Krueger who is not Robert Englund? And in this one, we have an actor by the name of Dave McRae, who does a pretty good job as Freddy Krueger. The voice, on point. Okay? There's mannerisms in the face. You can tell even through the makeup. We'll get to the makeup in a second. But you can tell that the actor, McRae, is doing really well. He reminds me of not the younger Freddy, but the older Freddy, maybe part 5, 6 Freddy. The Goldberg's Freddy. There's something about the way he moves his face when he's speaking and expressions that reminds me of later Freddy. But he does try to get close to the original. He really tries. And it's hard. Nobody will ever be Robert Englund. The makeup. The makeup is interesting in this movie. I don't hate it, but I also don't like it. I'm somewhere in between where I'm like, it's Freddy, but those eye holes. That's the thing. The eye holes. It's so concave. There's certain shots in the movie where it just doesn't look good. But nonetheless, for not being a Hollywood film, they got really close to what it should look like. They got really close to it. And this is, in other words, a new interpretation of Freddy. Which brings another question in, which is, why is Freddy so much smaller? Is this actually Freddy Krueger, or is this the demon that was in part 7? Because he's gotten a lot smaller. They still made the choice to give him his fedora and his jacket, which was in part 7. Why he needed that jacket, why he doesn't look like that one, I don't know. If you're thin like regular Freddy who doesn't wear the jacket, maybe we should go that route. If you're going to be wearing the jacket and reprise the role from the demonic figure that took the form of Freddy in part 7, then maybe we want to buff this guy up a little bit. There's a lot of things there, but nonetheless, it's good. The film itself looks really good. The cinematography in this, I was shocked. I would challenge anyone to really point out that this is a fan film and say, see, that looks cheap, or that just looks wrong. It doesn't. There's so much in this. Every shot almost is like movie level quality, Hollywood level, huge budget level quality shots. I kid you not. I thought they were great. I thought they tried their best and they did amazingly well. I'm surprised. This is a non-spoiler, so I'm not going to tell you what goes on. But there are scenes, there's one scene in the movie that drags a little bit too long. There's one scene in a therapist office that just takes way too long. I felt like something else could have been done in its place. That could have been shortened up. I understand that they set it up for later. What they set up later on is really good. The setups for Freddy are really good. But that is the only issue I have with the pacing of the movie. Is like, oh man, with something that's 30 minutes or so, we spent way too long in that office. There's a running theme in this movie where Dylan has not spoken to his mother, Heather Langenkamp, and it's like, why, right? You have questions. And by the end of this movie, you don't get those questions answered. You have quite a few more questions, which is great because that leads you to want more. And if enough people support this movie by watching it, sharing it, commenting on it, then we should get a sequel in 2024, 25. I would love to see what else happens with Dylan, Nancy, Heather Langenkamp, and the new Freddy. This movie is really good. A really great way to spend your 30 minutes if you are a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. If you're a fan of film, I would check this out as well because they did some really cool things, really cool shots. They tried their best. I think they knocked it out of the park. So congratulations to everyone involved in that movie. Thank you for putting my name in the credits, Alex Thorn, as well, as you can see right there. I am humbled and I super appreciate everybody's efforts. I can't wait to get the questions answered in whatever the sequel to this might be. So now it's time for me to give this a bandana rating. Dylan's New Nightmare is going to get 4 bandanas out of 5. That's a huge compliment. Like I said, the only thing I would change is a little bit of the pacing and some of the body movements, maybe the makeup a little bit, the eyes of Freddy Krueger, but those are small things compared to what else we could complain about in a Freddy Krueger film. I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and there's, we tear apart anything that isn't Robert Englund, and there's not much to tear apart here. He gets a lot right. A lot. So that is hope. Guys, are you a Nightmare on Elm Street fan? What did you think of the original New Nightmare? And have you seen Dylan's New Nightmare? Go watch it. I'm going to leave the link down below, and you have to check this out. By the way, I want to announce I am now on Whatnot. It is a live streaming site, auction site, that enables creators like me to sell or resell the things we love. I'm going to be on there. I'm going to leave that link down below. And if you have not joined Whatnot yet, here's what I want you to do. I want you to use my link below, because the first time you sign up for Whatnot and purchase your first item, you get $10 and I get $10. If you follow that link and you become a seller on Whatnot, then on your first sale, you get $40 and I get $40 bonus from them. How cool is that? Guys, follow me on Whatnot, because I'm going to be selling so many VHS and so much media, some of the ones that I even talk about and review here. Guys, once again, it's Whatnot, and you got to get on there and follow me today. day. Alright guys, that's enough for me today. Dylan's new nightmare is going to give me nightmares. So you know what I got to do. I have to go rock out so I can watch some new movies.